Welcome everyone to the 124th episode of Master Mike's Wrestling Paradise. I'm your host, Master Mike Ambrose, and let's get the show started. First off, I want to give my condolences to the family of Sika, the Wild Samoans. Obviously, his son, condolences to his son, Roman Reigns, and his family, because obviously he's the father of Roman Reigns. Sika, N-O-Y. I remember he had a tag team with the Wild Samoans a little bit before my time. Actually, when I started watching him, he'd been babyface because they had been heels. And then I saw him on a Saturday Night event fighting Hulk Hogan for the title. And I think he was in a WrestleMania Battle Royal. Actually, it was WrestleMania 4, if I recall. So, I remember that. Yeah, that's up. He was around a lot of territories, been around. I'll have to look on YouTube and go on Peacock, go see some old stuff because he was a great tag team guy. Obviously, big draw with that. Wild Samoans had like the first big Samoan wrestlers to come on the scene in North America. Although Rock's ran from PMIV, but as far as I'm concerned, I think I started seeing this off at Sika first. They were in, WWE, WWF, and, definitely were big time players. Condolences to his family. Big news let's go to Raw. Big news from Raw. We got new tag team champions, world tag team champions. And if you saw it, you know what happened. Judgment Day beat Awesome Truth, and Liv Morgan had a hand in it. Well, they won. But Liv Morgan distracts R-Truth, gives him a hug, and then, gives him like the drapes his thing on the ropes, boom. Finn Balor hits him with the coup de grace, and boom. Him and JD McDonough are the new tag team. Finn Balor and JD McDonough are the new tag team champions, so that's good. And I also saw, what started with how we got there was Liv seduced R-Truth backstage, was saying, give him a truth to him, because him and Miz are tag team champions, and Miz was on commentary, start the show, because Pat McAfee wasn't there. And, so they did it, and, Miz goes backstage, trying to tell Ruth what happened. And he goes, I gave the Austin the title, I gave Judgment Day a title shot, Liv from, so it was all a funny thing, but the fact is, the match happened, and, Judgment Day are now once again, World Tag Team Champions. We know Liv's with Dominic, and they got into it a bit during the segment when she was calling Dom out, and Selena Vega showed up, and there's a match next week. It's Liv Morgan, Selena Vega for the women's world title. Well, that might I don't know if it's going to get moved to Money in the Bank or not, but that's the plan right now for next week. And speaking of Money in the Bank, and qualifiers involving Lyra Valkyria winning her qualifier against Shayna Baszler, Kairi Sane. I'm a big fan of Lyra. Lyra gets they kind of take shots there at times online. I don't know why. I think she's pretty good at what she does. She's trying to get over, they're establishing new talent, and, we got to start building them up now over time. She only got there like a little over a month ago, but she's already doing pretty well, I think, so got to establish new talent. And then we also have in the women's, not the women's, the men's qualifier was Chad Gable defeating Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed, and yes, Chad Gable's back after last week attack from the Wyatt Sicks, and he's all right. He apologized back to Alpha Cabin, but they weren't having any of it. Although Maxine was kind of warming up, but after Otis was hurt by it, and Otis kind of blew him off, saying, "I'm glad you're okay, but I don't trust you after what happened." And then Maxine tried to talk to Chad, let me talk to him, and that's that. I'll get into the Wyatt Sicks in like a little while. Oh. And also, we had, Braun Breaker, going to challenge Sami's NXT title. Him and Ludwig Kaiser in a match, and it was pretty physical. Sheamus got involved, and Braun Breaker knocked into an MP saying, I want a title shot and all that. And, yep, Sami was there, and Braun's got a title shot at Money in the Bank for the IC title, Intercontinental title. And I wouldn't be trying to Braun Breaker wins. He's definitely getting a big push. Speaking of the titles, Damian Priest was out there talking about the Seth Rollins, challenge for the Money in the Bank, and Seth came out and they put up a thing. If Seth Rollins issued the challenge, well, actually, it's Damian Priest said if you lose, this is you don't get more Charles long as I'm champion, and Seth Rollins put a thing. If you lose the title, you have to leave Judgment Day. So they're building something. They've been teasing the censor with Judgment Day for a while. Like Liv got Dom and the rest of the crew some gifts. And Priest didn't like it because Dom's storylines with Rhea and all that, so a lot of going on there. It's a good stuff. It's a good stuff here. Gunther returns. Oh, biggie. I like this. Gunther was back. And this, because I think he's one of the best guys on the roster. My favorite guys to watch. I said, oh, okay, when he showed up, okay, here we go. Right during the segment involving Seth and Priest. Seth Rollins, David Priest. Right during there, Gunther shows up saying, whoever wins this has to face me at SummerSlam, and, I'm going to be the new champion, he's basically saying. I thought it was pretty good, effective. So he's back on the fold. And I don't know what he's going to do with because Ludwig Kaiser's gone solo, kind of now for doing his own thing. Even though they're still Imperium, they kind of didn't interact last night on the show. So it's going to be very interesting what they go forward. I get back to Wyatt Sicks. So last night, after Chad Gable wins his match, Nikki Cross does her little spooky thing where she's crawled over the ring and all that. It's kind of a crazy thing. And Chad walks back. He leaves the ring. And then she goes to ringside where Michael Cole's sitting, and she gives him like a box. But I don't know what's in it, but it's just like an empty box. But it's just a Pat McAfee. Pat's not there. Then she walks off. The Cross went back to the table. He comes back, actually. Michael Cole comes back and tells everybody, got this box here. It's just a Pat McAfee. But Pat's not here. So he opens the mail up, which, another person... open and go through your mail kind of, so to speak, but, it's on TV, everyone's going to see. So he does it, and it's a VHS tape. And, he goes, for all you kids of a certain age, these are what VHS tapes we used to watch videos on. And so, obviously, there's no more VCRs anymore. But apparently, there was probably a thing, they probably had a regular copy of it, but they show it on video. They go, we found an old VCR, and here's the video. And it was a video about Uncle Howdy talking to Bo Dallas. And obviously, Uncle Howdy's portrayed by Bo Dallas. It was pretty impressive. Bo Dallas, obviously, Bray Wyatt's brother, late Bray Wyatt, and he was someone how his brother meant everything to him. His career, he wanted to be like him and all that. So, it's going to be interesting how this pulls off this whole Wyatt Sicks. They're selling a lot of merchandise and drawing good ratings and stuff, so a lot of people are into it. It gets a buzz. It's one thing with these gimmicks. When it's Bray Wyatt or this, gets a lot of buzz going online and on YouTube and merchandise selling ratings, so it could draw. We'll just see the execution of what happens to the whole thing. And then to start the show, we had Drew McIntyre wanting to get Money in the Bank after he was screwed over by Punk and all that. And, and that money, obviously going back to WrestleMania with the title. And he goes, you got to qualify. So next week he's fighting Sheamus and Ilya Dragunov, which should be a great match for the last spot in the men's Money in the Bank, because SmackDown's got one this week with... I gotta have to look back, but I think I know an idea who it is on that match. I think I have an idea. Wait a minute. No. I think so. Yeah, I gotta go look back. But I know for sure there's a match involving the men's Money in the Bank for next week. Let me think. Oh. No, I know. It's Logan Paul, LA Knight, and Santos Escobar. And the women's one is Tiffany Stratton, Blair Davenport, Naomi. So those are the matches for SmackDown. Sorry. Okay. And next Tuesday. No, not next. This coming Monday. Raw's is Ivy Nile, Dakota Kai, and Zoe Stark for the last spot in the women's Money in the Bank. So next week the final 2 quarterfinals. And the three you got on Friday this week. Men's and females. So that should be that. Okay, on to NXT. Built to Heatwave. We're building to Heatwave, obviously. We've got a tag team turmoil match. When it gets a title shot, I believe it's Idris Adofi, Malik Blade versus Chase U. No, not Chase U. Versus Chase U. Versus... Humberto and Angel, the Garza, the twin. Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza. And New Catch Republic, Tyler Bates and Pete Dunne, who I hope they'll get it. I know they're part of Raw. I hope they end up winning the World Tag Team titles next. Talk about New Catch Republic. That should be the plan. We'll see there. I don't know when this tag team runs. Maybe Chase U. I don't know. So there goes that. We also have Tony D'Angelo versus Nathan Frazer for the Heritage Cup. It should be a good match. I like Nathan Frazer. He moves very fast and stuff. He's so good. And Tony Angel is really good, too. I hope he gets called up eventually by the end of the summer. They could use some new talent. It's a new guy like him. Also, Wes Lee and Coffey should be another good match. And the NXT title situation, because we have Trick Williams versus, last week we was like, Javon Evans versus Ethan Page. It went to no contest because there was interference. And, you had Trick Williams there, and obviously he's the champion, and you had Sean Spears get involved. Kind of like a four-way battle between them. I don't know if that's going to be at the pay-per-view or at the PLE. We'll see. And last but not least, to end the show, we got to end the show with some hockey news. Bruins trade Linus Ullmark. And I think it's good that they got it done, because I think for a while there it was like, oh, we're platooning 2 goal leads, and, it wasn't working out so good. Now Jeremy Swayman's the number one. Another thing I didn't care for is that he seemed to have like a no-trade content. He was playing hardball with all these guys, because they wanted Swayman done at the trade deadline. And I think at the trade deadline, they could have gotten something for him. But he wanted, like, LA wanted him or something, but he didn't want to go, and he was kind of high maintenance staff. But now he's got to Ottawa, and they, get his they've taken on some of his salary. The return is good sign for this return. You got a 2024 first-round pick, drafts at the end of the week, so maybe they get someone there because they don't have any. They haven't had any, first-round draft picks in a couple years. In the next few years, I don't know after this one how many they have. So this is good to know that they got a draft pick for this year, first round. And also, we got the return goalie Corpusalo, Jonas Corpusalo. And, he's not very good. His goals, his average is, gives away a lot of game stuff, and his save percentage isn't that high, 800 something. He's not really that good of a goalie as of late these last couple of years, so yeah, there's that. And then you got to take on $3 million of that salary. Maybe they'll turn it. They'll flip it to a pick, and they only have to and then you only have to pay against one. So we shall see. And like I say, all that stuff involved in title stuff. Like I say, I hope Bron Breakker wins, because he's like a highlight for me when I watch Raw every week. He's tremendous. Oh, SmackDown this week. I'll give you a free preview. Saw Jacob Fatu show up. Now, they're going to be honoring him into Bloodline this Friday on SmackDown. I'm a big Jacob Fatu fan. I watched him in MLW, and he's just tremendous. He's probably maybe the most talented guy in the family. I don't know, because I like Roman Reigns, the top guy. This guy can go. This guy's a great talent, obviously, and he made an impact. He laid out Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens in the same night. So obviously, they got big plans for him. He's like the star. I say he's in this new Bloodline led by Sylph. He's the big star in the group, or he's got potential to be. And Tama Tonga's good too, so not knocking them, but Jacob Fatu's incredible that way. Do a lot of high flying moves, a brawler. Oh, strong style, he can work, but I think I wouldn't be shocked if Drew McIntyre wins Money in the Bank. Either him or obviously Jey Uso's very popular. I wouldn't mind seeing any of these guys in it. Chad Gable, you got Carmelo Hayes, you got Andrade. I don't think Andrade, that's a good match for him. Obviously, at the women, I have Tiffany Stratton winning. I think she should win. And that's about it. That's about it for tonight's show. I'll be seeing you. Well, actually, I'll be seeing you tomorrow, because, not a time. I've been busy all day talking. And tonight we have a show, the last, on Vice, Who Killed WCW? The last episode, so episode 4. Try to do a show tomorrow on there. So I'll be seeing you there. Okay. Like I said, tomorrow. I'll have it sometime by early tomorrow morning. No, early evening, I'm sorry. So early evening, I should do another show of last episode, Who Killed WCW. And then in the future, I might do a whole recap of each, all the episodes, what I learned from it, or what, I already kind of knew about it, all that. I hope I see some stuff involving, see Stu Snyder. Oh, I don't know if I brought this up, but I'll bring it up again, because it happened over the weekend, is, the guy that canceled WCW, actually, Jamie Kellner, passed away. He's 78, and, all right, rest in peace to him. Even though, he kind of did cost WCW to go out of business. To be bought by Vince, because he canceled him off TBS, and then WWF came in and swiped in and bought him at a cheap price. It was like $2.5 million that WWE bought it, which is incredible. Because the tape library is worth that more alone. It's like $2.5 million for WCW. I mean, Bischoff and his group Fusion, which will show tonight, was going to pay a lot more than that. So we'll see. I think one of the guys, I heard Brad Siegel didn't want WCW much. He was friends with a guy that worked for WWF at the time, and he may have worked before Turner. But we shall see into that because it's kind of fascinating how that all went down. Hopefully they'll talk about it, because I'll read it again in the book. WCW Nitro covered it, so hopefully they talk about what went down and how they were able to get a sweet deal out of that, because that's something. If I had the money, I would have bought WCW. You know, anybody would have. I own it right now. I would have. And, I'll put it on this channel, find it anywhere to put it on. Back then, you couldn't do anything on the internet because YouTube didn't exist, and social media wasn't like it is now back in 2001. So you had to go put it on a TV set. Streaming wasn't available, so it was kind of a different situation back then. Okay, I'll be seeing you. Have a good night. Take care. Bye-bye.